Wavedashing was one of the first advanced techniques ever uncovered, and to this day it remains a staple. At first, wavedashing's usefulness was questioned, but as time went on, it would prove to be an essential option. Wavedashing lets you exit shield, slide to the ledge, attack while moving, and much more. For some characters, wavedashing is even the go-to movement option. Despite wavedashing's importance, there's been a way of optimizing it that's gone overlooked this entire time. I showed the trick I'm referring to in my last video, which broke down the best way to JC shine as Fox and Falco. This trick involves doubling down on your L and R inputs in order to increase the odds of a frame-perfect air dodge. To be exact, you'll want to surround the ideal air dodge frame with these inputs. Although I showed the strategy being used for tri-jump air dodges, it applies to grounded wave dashes as well. A common optimization for grounded wave dashes is short hopping instead of full hopping. This lets you make contact with the ground more quickly in the event that your air dodge isn't frame perfect. However, this optimization isn't needed once you implement the double input strategy. This is because the double input strategy effectively creates a 2-frame window for a frame perfect air dodge, which lets you assume that your air dodge will be frame perfect. To be clear, a 1-frame window isn't good enough to make this assumption. Many pros would agree that 1-frame windows can be hit about 80% of the time with practice, whereas 2-frame windows can be hit virtually all the time, which makes a big difference. Assumption will be the focal point of today's video. The ability to have 100% confidence that your character will follow set frame data is more valuable than it looks. This is because knowing your Wavedash's frame data affects your ability to perform inputs afterward as well. Luigi, for example, needs 14 frames to complete a frame-perfect Wavedash. If Luigi short hops for a frame, then air dodges at the perfect angle, he'll need 16 frames, and if he full hops, he'll need 18. At first glance, it may seem as though Luigi can act on frame 15 80% of the time, and then on frame 17 or 19 the other 20% of the time if he's wavedashing with one shoulder trigger. However, this isn't actually the case. Let's say Luigi exclusively short hops as to eliminate the possibility of a full hop wavedash. Even then, there's a problem here. The problem is that Luigi still can't afford to perform inputs on frame 15 because whenever he receives a short hop outcome, he'll be in wavedash lag when this happens. This means that despite the fact that the short hop outcome only occurs 20% of the time, it still dictates Luigi's ability to time his inputs. Unless Luigi can fully eliminate the short hop outcome, then he may as well be receiving this outcome 100% of the time. In other words, you're only as good as your worst outcome when it comes to wavedashing. This is why the double input method is significant. It's the only way to assume that your wavedashes will be frame perfect, and so it's the only way to perform inputs frame perfectly afterward as well. In Luigi's case, the double input method lets him act on frame 15, which is a 2-frame improvement in this situation. In my last video, I listed all of the possible outcomes that can occur during a JC shine that's timed for between the 2nd and 3rd airborne frames followed by a double jump air dodge down. I emphasize the importance of eliminating the 8th outcome on this chart by making sure that you either short hop, shine on frame 2, or air dodge perfectly. However, I ended the video there. Now that I've explained why you should assume that you'll receive your worst input, I'll show you how that concept applies here. For starters, the entire list of outcomes that involve full hopping can be crossed out, as it's easy enough to short hop every time. That leaves the 4 short hop outcomes. Among these outcomes, the 2 that contain a late air dodge can be crossed out as well with enough practice. This is because the double input method is good enough for us to assume that our air dodge will be frame perfect. From there, the only input we can't guarantee is a frame 2 shine. While a frame 2 shine is ideal, there's no way to rule out the possibility of a frame 3 shine since a frame 2 shine is a true 1-frame window. What this means is that we have to disregard the frame 2 outcome entirely and assume that our shine comes out on frame 3. This input sequence spends 12 frames in midair for both Fox and Falco. From there, they'll incur 10 frames of air dodge lag, and so they'll be able to act on frame 23. Similarly, these concepts apply to the 45-degree tri-jump strategy as well. The outcome that matters here is the 2nd row for the exact same reasons as before. Fox will spend 13 frames in midair when this outcome occurs, whereas Falco will spend 14. This means that the spacies can act on frames 24 and 25 respectively. The goal of this video has been to convey the importance of being able to guarantee your input timings, as anything short of guaranteed means having to play for the weaker outcome. The double input air dodge method is the only way to ensure the best outcome for regular wave dashes, and it also applies to tri-jumps out of JC shine. This goes to show that even Melee's most essential techniques still have stones left to be unturned. In my next video, I'll be revealing the secrets behind how to perform yet another essential technique as well as possible. That video will air next Friday, so make sure to be here when the time comes. Until then, subscriptions are much appreciated if you enjoy this type of Melee content.